What's going on, everyone? It's BradyBot here. I want to take you through a hand that I just recently played in one of the robot declare play only tournaments. So the auction was given to us. It was a very simple auction. We had an 11 count. We opened a spade in first seat. We got no trump overcall on our left, 15 to about 18 high card points or so. Partner bid 2 spades, and that ended the auction. The opening lead was the Diamond King, and this is what we saw. So after the opponents played 2 rounds of diamonds, forcing us in our hand, we paused to take stock. And it's always good to think before you just naturally rough a trick, but what we want to focus on is towards the end of the play, so I'm kind of going to speed through the first couple of tricks. There's a lot of options in the play here. We could play the spade suit one way or another, depending on where we think the honors are. We could choose to finesse the 10 of hearts at some point. We could choose to finesse the club queen. We could try and play for the queen of clubs offside and for it to drop doubleton. Lots of choices. But I decided to rough a trick 2. Not going to go into the decision process. I think all of these first couple of tricks are relatively close in sort of how we approach the play. But what's interesting is what develops later in the hand. So I led the 10 of spades at trick 2. I really didn't want this covered. If I led the jack of spades, West, of course, would cover with a holding of king, queen, third. And if it goes jack, queen, ace, and East plays a small spade, and I play a spade back, East might show out. West could then pull a couple rounds of trumps and then just play a bunch of diamonds. I would be out of trumps. West would have control. Eventually they would get in with the heart ace and cash a few diamonds. So I really wanted the 10 of spades to just hold this trick, and I thought there was a decent chance if West had a holding of, say, king, queen, fourth, that they just wouldn't cover on the first round of the suit. And that's exactly what happened. So the 10 of spades held. Now, I don't know if spades are 3-2 or 4-1. It's very possible that West had king, queen, small, and East had 9 doubleton, in which case there really was nothing West could do. Or it's possible that West actually has all of the remaining 3 spades. Either way, if spades happen to be 3-2, we can cash the ace at a later point in time. If spades happen to be 4-1, we're probably going to want to avoid cashing the ace until very late in the play, once we have all the rest of our tricks set up, because otherwise we cash the ace of spades too early, West gets in with the ace of hearts and plays the king, queen of spades and pulls all of our trumps. Once again, they run the diamond suit. So it's important to turn our attention to the side suits at this point. And based on our count of the high cards already, West has turned up with the ace, king of diamonds. King, queen of spades is 12 high card points. Assuming West has the ace of hearts, no guarantee on that, but it seems pretty likely for the no trump overcall, that brings West total up to 16 already. And while West could have the jack of hearts, there's no guarantee they have that card. West is pretty unlikely to hold the club queen. Otherwise, that would give West a pretty good 18 count. A bunch of aces and kings, king, queen, third, or fourth of spades. Their hand might be a little bit too good to overcall just one no trump. So with all this in mind, I was able to visualize an end position where it didn't really matter where the jack of hearts was. I was going to be able to put myself in a position where I could guess what was going on much later in the play. All I needed was for East to have the club queen, West to have the heart ace, and spades 3-2 would be helpful, but we can deal with that later. So on the next trick, I led a heart, and the robots actually played the ace of hearts on this trick, so I'll just kind of quickly show you how the rest of the hand played out. This wasn't exactly a mistake. Double dummy, there was nothing West could do from here to prevent me from scoring all but 2 of the remaining tricks, the ace of hearts and West's natural trump trick. I'm going to reveal all the hands now just so we can see what's going on. So on the ace of hearts, West won, returned a heart. I won the queen and dummy, took a club finesse, which held. At this point, it was completely safe for me to cash the spade ace. I did that. Spades have split. Now I don't even need the clubs to break. I can just rough the last round of clubs in the north hand. So, plus 170. Pretty good result, and it was good for 100% of the match points in this event. But let's go back a couple tricks and take a look at what would have happened if West had made what looks like the more natural play of ducking the ace of hearts. They play low. I was going to win the queen, not stick in the 10. This finesse is completely unnecessary because I'm able to visualize what's going to happen 4 or 5 tricks down the road, and we'll see how the play develops. So ace plays a low heart. Now I take my club finesse. And at this point, we're kind of in the same position. I would have once again cashed the ace of spades, not really caring if spades are 4-1 or 3-2. Once they're 3-2, I'm now in a position where I'm going to be able to ruff the 4th round of clubs and dummy if necessary. So I would then continue by playing 2 more rounds of clubs. And now that the clubs have split, the 5 of clubs is actually a winner, but much more importantly, playing the 5 of clubs to this next trick exerts immense pressure on West's hand. And there's nothing good that West can do to escape his fate. All the opponents are going to get from here is the ace of hearts and king of spades. But let's see what West's options are. So I would have led the 5 of clubs if we got to this position. West has basically 3 choices. Ruff this trick, discard a low heart, or discard a diamond. Let's take a look at what happens if West chooses all 3 of these options. So first, suppose West ruffs. Now I would discard dummy's diamond on this trick. East, it doesn't matter what they do, and West is now endplayed into leading one of the red suits. Dummy being void in diamonds means that on a diamond return, I'll be able to ruff and dummy and pitch one of my hearts. Therefore, I only have 1 heart loser remaining. So the fact that the jack 9 of hearts is over here, sitting over the 10, irrelevant. Alternatively, after ruffing, West could, of course, cash the ace of hearts themselves, and this would just set up my king. So a simple end play proceeds if West decides to ruff the 5 of clubs. The second option is West could discard a heart. Well, the 5 of clubs still holds the trick. I can discard a diamond. Here I would need to do a little bit of guesswork, and this is what I referenced earlier in the video when I mentioned I would be in a position to guess what's going on at the end of the hand. And this is kind of a tool that you'll notice from a lot of very strong declarers, is that they put themselves in these positions not early in the play, where, of course, you know, maybe a declarer who isn't as careful would play heart to the 10, and they would guess that the jack of hearts is with the no trump overcaller. Not an unreasonable thing to do. But here I've been able to play out many more tricks and get a better read on what's going on in all of the suits based on the opponent's discards as well as their carding. And now if I read the position, I can exit a low heart to West singleton ace, which I probably would have done if this is how West ended up defending. Now the king of hearts is set up. West, of course, can cash the king of spades. But I have a trump left for a diamond force. The king of hearts is good. I will once again take 10 tricks. So let's go back to the third option that West would have on the 5 of clubs. They can pitch a diamond. Now, if I proceed along kind of the same route that I had been before, which is 5 of clubs wins, I pitch a diamond from dummy, there's actually nothing I can do from this position. I could exit a spade, but West has a diamond to get out. So I would be stuck in my hand, leading a heart away from the king. Not that it would matter if I was in dummy either. The opponents get 2 heart tricks in this position. Instead, what I need to do is I need to ruff my winning 5 of clubs with dummy's last trump. And now we can kind of understand why West discarding a diamond is also bad for them. Because now that I'm in dummy, I can extract West's last diamond by ruffing a diamond in my own hand. Now everything's set up. I exit the jack of spades, West wins the king, East discards, but West is now on lead at trick 12 and is forced to lead away from the ace of hearts into my king, once again giving me the last trick and plus 170 for a 100% board. And you'll take a look that board 11, this is the board that was played. If we look at the Traveler, there's one player who scored 170. That was us. There are a couple of 140s, some at 110, and a couple ended up going down in the contract. So Really cool hand. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you next time.